first Tesla of the day. I'm being frank with you. It's our last day here in Bergen and I'm at the airport. I'm actually in the airport toilets, and the reason I'm videoing from here is because I want you to see the view from the toilets. This is not as creepy as it might sound. That clip would have been a little bit longer, but the girl came in to clean the toilets and I thought I'd better put the camera away for all the obvious reasons. Instead, this is the view from the restaurant on the top floor. It's not going to be very good because they have some kind of mesh here just outside the window, so I'm surprised my camera, pathetic as it is most of the time, can actually see through at all. Soon be time for our flight. We're back and we're shopping, not in this aisle of course. So everything comes to those who wait, and I waited long enough and got a latte from Waitrose. Meanwhile, the boys are loading up the shopping. Everything's going to plan. Not that I actually had any plan. Now we'll be making our way home, do all the things we normally do on a Saturday night on a Friday. Just to confuse me a bit more. So back at home now and having a look at the different things around the house, the pile of mail which the postman has not been able to put through the door because of the scaffolding, and then the work that the builders have been doing over the last 7 days, and they don't seem to have made as much progress as I had hoped. There was something else. Oh yes, they've managed to block the drain so that when the washing machine empties out the water, it just pours all over the driveway because it can't go down the drain. So that's something I need to investigate tomorrow. Interesting way to start my Saturday. It was a really interesting holiday, but one thing I really want to rant about is Japanese tourists. You know, for years Germans got a bad name because we apparently were able to throw a beach towel out of the hotel window from the 14th floor and land it on a poolside lounger with technical accuracy. I think maybe this is why Audi started using the phrase Vorsprung durch Technik. It was nothing to do with cars. It was all about our javelin exacting abilities to throw towels. Anyway, I think our position at the top of the league of being obnoxious tourists has long been surpassed by Japanese tourists. My experiences last week were pretty diabolical, sometimes quite amusing. We were in the cable car and the funicular railway, and it's very modern. And anyway, all these Japanese tourists pile in. I nearly have 3 ladies sitting on my knee, and the funicular railway starts to come down the mountain. And they're all very excitable and they want to take photographs of everything, and if something is in their way, well, let's just say if it's a human being, the baby and the bathwater probably is a good analogy here. Anyway, we get to the bottom of the mountain and this lady is desperate for the doors to open, and you can see the real confusion on her face because she can hear the sound of the pneumatic doors opening, and she's standing there looking at all the doors and nothing's happening, and she doesn't realize it's the doors on the other side of the carriage which are opening. And when that eventually filters through her head, she turns around and it's almost like a massacre to get out of that carriage. And that's just to join a queue in a tunnel full of fellow Japanese tourists who are trying to take selfies with these cameras on sticks over their heads. They then get to the end of the tunnel, and you know, it's the classic thing. It's when somebody gets to the top of an escalator and just stands there, completely oblivious to everybody who happens to be behind them at the time. Same with the Japanese people. They just block up the whole entrance, or exit in this case. Anyway, I'm glad to be away from them. I think it is perhaps a little bit symptomatic of the fact that they're trying to do the classic American holiday, 80 European cities in 3 days, and they have to keep to a timetable. I noticed they all had a little black box around their neck, and this was attached to earphones. And I think that's probably a sort of communication system. And they're a bit like lemmings going over the cliff. They're told just to rush to the end of the tunnel and just keep jumping. Unfortunately, it wasn't a cliff, it was just a way out into another cobbled street. Anyway, that's my rant about Japanese tourists. I hope not to encounter them on my next holiday, which I think is going to Stornoway sometime in June, and I don't think that's going to be a popular destination with the Japanese. Hooray. Rant over. I hope you're looking forward to a good weekend. I certainly am. I've had my refreshing holiday. I'm all set to attack the garden over the weekend, if the weather is with me. And I hope you have a good weekend too. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.